The sky above the desert planet burned like copper when Orange's ship came down. It was not a smooth landing. The ship's engine made a loud sound, and smoke rose from the side. Aaron, a young human explorer, had traveled far from his home world to find new stars, new planets, and new friends. But now his ship was broken, and he was alone on a strange land. Aaron stepped out of the ship, coughing as the hot wind touched his face. He wore a simple explorer suit, dusty and scratched from his long journey. Around him stretched wide plains of red sand, dotted with glowing blue plants that looked like lanterns in the distance. Tall silver towers shone under the twin suns. It was clear to Aaron that this planet was not wild. It was alive with intelligence. He picked up his small scanner and pointed it at the towers. "Life signs," the scanner said in a soft voice. Aaron smiled. "Good," he whispered. "If there are people here, maybe they can help me fix my ship." Aaron started walking, his boots leaving marks in the sand. The glowing plants bent slightly as he passed. As if watching him, the air was hot but full of a sweet smell like fruit. After a long walk, Aaron reached a stone path that led to the city of towers. The gates were tall, made of silver and crystal, and guarded by two beings who looked part human and part light. Their skin shone faintly, like the sky at dawn. Their large eyes watched him carefully. "Who comes to Solara?" one of them asked in a voice that sounded like music. "My name is Aaron," he said with a small bow. "I come in peace. My ship is broken. I need help." The guards looked at each other. One of them tilted his head. "A human," he said. "Few humans have walked here." Before Aaron could say more, a figure stepped from behind the gates. It was a young woman, but not like any woman Aaron had seen. Her skin was pale gold. Her long hair sparkled like threads of silver, and her eyes were a deep green that seemed to hold stories of stars. She wore a robe that shimmered with soft colors, and when she spoke, her voice was calm and clear. "I am Lyra, daughter of the king of Solara," she said. "Why have you come to my world?" Aaron felt a strange mix of awe and hope. "I did not mean to land here," he explained. "My ship was damaged in space. I only asked for help to repair it so I can return to my travels." Lyra studied him for a long moment. Her gaze was not cold, but it was strong. "You are human," she said. "Humans are bold travelers, but not always wise. My people have not forgotten what happened when humans came to the far moons near our world." Aaron lowered his eyes. "I do not know about those humans," he said softly, "but I mean no harm. I just wish to fix my ship." Lyra's eyes softened, but then she smiled in a way that seemed like a quiet test. "If you want my help," she said, "you must first speak to my father. He is the king. He does not trust outsiders. If you can convince him of your good heart, I will come with you and help you." Aaron blinked in surprise. "Come with me?" he asked. "Yes," Lyra said with a nod. "I wish to see other stars, but I will not leave unless my father agrees." Aaron felt a small laugh rise in his chest, though he quickly hid it. He had not planned on meeting a princess, much less one who wanted to leave her planet. "Then I will speak to your father," he said firmly. "Where is he?" Lyra gestured to the shining towers behind her. "The king lives in the high palace. It is not easy to reach him. He does not meet strangers unless they show courage and honesty." "Then I will show both," Aaron said. Lyra tilted her head, as if measuring his words. "We shall see." She said quietly, "Follow me." Aaron walked beside her through the great gates. The city beyond was unlike anything he had imagined. Floating gardens filled the air, with flowers glowing like tiny suns. Silver walkways connected tall crystal towers, and streams of water flowed under the streets, carrying light instead of water. The people of Solara were graceful beings with shining skin and quiet smiles. But they looked at Aaron with curiosity and caution. "Your city is beautiful," Aaron said as he walked beside Lyra. "It is more than a city," she said with pride. "It is a home built from light and memory. We take care of it as we take care of our hearts." Aaron nodded, feeling the weight of her words. He had traveled many worlds, but none had this strange mix of magic and science. As they walked, Lyra asked, "Why Do humans travel so far from their own stars? Aaron thought for a moment. Because we are curious, he said. We want to learn what lies beyond our own sky. We make mistakes, but we keep trying. Lyra looked at him, her green eyes calm but full of thought. Curious, she repeated. That can be both good and dangerous. At last, they reached the base of the high palace. It rose like a mountain of silver glass, its walls shining with soft light. At the gate stood more guards, taller and stronger than the first. They held staffs that glowed with white energy. Lyra turned to Aaron. Wait here, she said. I will tell my father you are here. Aaron waited as she walked inside. His heart beat faster. He had no plan, no gift, nothing to offer the king except his words. But he knew that if he failed, his ship would remain broken, and his journey would end here. After a long moment, Lyra returned. My father will see you, she said. But be careful with your words. He believes strength comes from wisdom, not from force. Convince him, and I will come with you. Aaron nodded, his jaw set. Then I will speak from my heart. Lyra gave him a small, knowing smile. We shall see, she repeated, and with that, she led him inside the shining palace where the king of Solara waited. Aaron followed Lyra through the grand gates of the palace. As soon as he stepped inside, he felt the coolness of the air. The heat of the desert was left behind, and now he walked in a place filled with soft lights and gentle colors. The walls of the palace were made of crystal, and they seemed to glow from within. Every step he took made the floor hum lightly, as if the building itself was alive. The palace halls were wide and tall. Strange patterns moved across the walls, telling stories of the Celaran people. Aaron slowed down to look at one of the glowing patterns. It showed tall beings of light standing with stars above them, and rivers flowing under their feet. There were no words, only shapes that told of peace, wisdom, and history. Your palace is like a dream, Aaron said softly as he walked behind Lyra. Lyra turned her head slightly and smiled. It is built with care. Every stone remembers the touch of those who placed it here. My people believe a home must carry the memory of its makers. That is why our walls glow. They remember. Aaron felt a strange warmth in his heart. Humans built cities of metal and glass, but they never built them to remember. Your people are different, he said. Lyra did not reply. She led him up a long silver staircase. At the top, two guards waited. They were taller than any humans Aaron had ever seen. Their armor was not made of metal, but of some shining material that looked as light as cloth but as strong as stone. Their faces were calm, but their eyes were sharp, watching Aaron closely. This is the human, one guard asked, his voice deep like the sound of a drum. Yes, Lyra said. He comes with a request. The guard stepped aside slowly, letting them pass. Aaron felt their gaze follow him as he entered the throne hall. The hall was huge. Its ceiling was so high that clouds of soft light floated near the top. On each side of the hall, tall pillars of crystal rose like trees. Between them were small pools of water glowing with blue light. The sound of gentle streams echoed through the room, giving it a peaceful feeling. At the end of the hall sat the king of Solara. Aaron stopped walking for a moment. The king was unlike anyone he had ever seen. He was tall and strong, with skin that shone like polished silver. His robe was white and simple but glowed faintly, as if it carried its own light. His hair was long and pale, and his eyes were bright and steady, like twin stars. When he looked at Aaron, Aaron felt as if the king could see every thought in his mind. Lyra stepped forward and bowed slightly. Father, this is Aaron, a traveler from another star. His ship is broken, and he asks for our help. I have told him that only you can decide. The king's gaze moved to Aaron. A human, the king said slowly. His voice was deep but calm, like the quiet strength of a river. Few humans have stood in this hall. Aaron bowed his head respectfully. Your Majesty, he said, I thank you for seeing me. I come in peace. I only ask for help to repair my ship so I can leave your world safely. The king did not speak for a long moment. His bright eyes studied Aaron, as if searching for the truth in his words. Humans have crossed many stars, the king said at last. Some come with friendship, but some come with greed. Long ago, your kind mined the moons near our world. They took too much. They left the land broken. Why should I trust you? Aaron took a deep breath. I am not like them, he said honestly. I am not here to take anything from you. I just want to fix my ship. I travel to learn and to see new worlds, not to harm them. The king leaned back slightly. Words are easy, he said, but actions show truth. Why should I believe? You are different. Aaron looked at Lyra for a moment. She stood beside her father, watching him with quiet eyes. He knew he had to speak from his heart. Because I choose to stand here and ask, not to take, Aaron said. If I wanted to, I could have tried to take what I needed, but that is not my way. I believe in asking and understanding. If you help me, I will remember your kindness and carry it across the stars. The king's face did not change, but his eyes grew softer, as if he was listening closely. You speak well, he said, but trust is not given with words alone. Lyra stepped forward. Father, she said gently, I believe this human speaks the truth. I have seen his eyes. He carries no greed. The king looked at her for a moment, then back at Aaron. If you truly wish my help, you must first prove your worth. We Sellerns do not give our trust to outsiders without a test. Do you accept this? Aaron nodded quickly. Yes, I accept. The king's eyes shone like stars. Good. There's a place called the Forbidden Cavern. Inside lies the Heart Crystal, a stone of great power and light. Many have entered, but few return. Bring me a sign from the Heart Crystal, not the crystal itself, but proof that you have seen it. If you return, I will believe you have courage and respect. Then I will help you. Aaron felt a small chill run through him. A dangerous cavern was not what he had hoped for, but he also knew he had no choice. I will go, he said firmly. The king gave a small nod. Lyra will show you the path, but the trial is yours alone. Lyra looked at Aaron with a mix of worry and curiosity. The cavern is not easy, she said. It is dark, and strange creatures guard it. But if you wish, I will guide you as far as I can. I will do it, Aaron said. If this is the only way, I will not turn back. The king's eyes shone with quiet respect. Then let it be so. As Aaron left the throne hall with Lyra, he felt the weight of the challenge before him. The glowing halls of the palace seemed softer now, as if watching him with silent hope. Lyra walked beside him, her silver hair glowing under the lights. You are brave to accept my father's test, she said. But bravery is not enough. The cavern has tricks. It will test your mind as much as your strength. I will be ready, Aaron said, though he knew he had no idea what awaited him. Lyra gave a small smile. We shall see. Together, they stepped out of the palace and back into the strange, glowing city, ready to begin the journey to the Forbidden Cavern. The next morning, the twin sons of Solara rose over the glowing city. Their light turned the crystal towers into pillars of gold and silver. Aaron stood near the palace gates, ready for the journey to the Forbidden Cavern. He wore his explorer suit, but now it was cleaned and repaired by the kind workers of the palace. A small pack hung on his back, carrying water, food, and a few tools from his ship. Lyra arrived, walking with quiet grace. Her silver robe shimmered as if it carried the light of the suns. In her hand, she held a thin staff that glowed faintly at the tip. Are you ready? She asked, her voice calm but serious. As ready as I can be, Aaron replied, trying to sound confident. I don't know what waits inside the cavern, but I'll find a way through. Lyra looked at him carefully. The Forbidden Cavern is not like other places. It is alive in a strange way. The energy inside is old and wild. It creates illusions to test the hearts of those who enter. Many have tried and failed because they feared what they saw. Aaron adjusted his pack. Then I'll face whatever it shows me. I didn't come this far to turn back now. Lyra gave a small, approving smile. Good, follow me. They left the shining city and walked across the desert plains. The glowing blue plants bent as they passed, lighting their way like small lanterns. Aaron kept looking at the horizon, where dark mountains rose against the bright sky. That is where the cavern is, Lyra said, pointing to a deep cut in the mountains. The entrance is hidden by stone and shadow. Few dare to go there. Have you ever been inside? Aaron asked. No, Lyra said. The cavern is not for my people. It is a place of trials. Only those who seek to prove their strength go there. I can guide you to the entrance, but I cannot go inside. The test is yours alone. Aaron nodded, feeling both nervous and determined. Then I'll make it count. As they walked, Aaron tried to learn more about Lyra and her world. Your father is a strong king, he said. Does he always test those who visit your world? Lyra shook her head slightly. No, most visitors come in peace and leave without meeting him. But humans, they carry both light and shadow in their hearts. My father wants to see which one guides you. Aaron thought about her words. Humans are not perfect, he admitted. We make mistakes. We have hurt worlds before. But I believe we can also bring kindness. I hope I can prove that to your father. Lyra glanced at him, her green eyes thoughtful. You are different from the humans I've heard about. You speak with honesty. Maybe that will be your strength. By midday, they reached the foot of the dark mountains. The air was cooler here, and the ground was covered with black stones that glimmered. Under the light, a narrow path twisted upward, leading to a shadowed opening that looked like the mouth of a sleeping giant. This is it, Lyra said quietly. The forbidden cavern. Aaron stopped and looked at the entrance. A strange hum came from within, like the sound of a distant song. The air around the cavern felt heavy, almost alive. Strange place, Aaron said. Taking a deep breath, it will test you, Lyra said. Not with weapons, but with your own thoughts and fears. If your heart is strong, you will pass. If not, she paused, her voice softening. You may not return. Aaron met her gaze. Then I'll keep my heart steady. I've faced dangers before. This will be no different. Be careful, Lyra said. And remember this, the heart crystal does not belong to anyone. Do not try to take it. Just bring a sign that you have seen it, if you show respect. The cavern may let you leave. Aaron nodded. I'll remember. Before he stepped inside, Lyra handed him a small glowing stone. This will light your way, she said. But the light will fade if your courage fades. Keep it close. Aaron held the stone tightly. Thank you, Lyra. When I return, I'll bring the proof your father needs. Lyra's eyes softened. I hope you do return, she said quietly. With that, Aaron walked into the cavern. The air inside was cool and filled with a faint blue mist. The glowing stone in Aaron's hand shone softly, casting light on the rough walls. The sound of dripping water echoed around him, but there were no streams to be seen. The deeper he went, the stranger the cavern felt. The walls seemed to move slightly, as if they were breathing. Suddenly, the ground shook, and a voice whispered in the air. It was not clear or loud, but it sounded like the wind speaking. Why have you come, human? Aaron froze. I seek the heart crystal. I mean no harm. I just need to prove my worth. The whisper grew stronger. Many come with such words. Few leave. Aaron kept walking, his grip tight on the glowing stone. He remembered Lyra's words. Keep your heart steady. As he walked deeper, shadows formed around him, moving like living shapes. He saw images of ship broken and burning, the faces of people he loved, and strange monsters with glowing teeth. He felt fear rise in his chest, but he forced himself to breathe slowly. These are only tricks, he whispered to himself. Just illusions. I won't let them stop me. The shadows hissed and vanished. After what felt like hours, Aaron entered a wide chamber. In the center stood the heart crystal. It was not like any stone he had seen. It floated above the ground, glowing with soft blue light. The crystal pulsed like a heartbeat, filling the room with warmth and calm. Aaron walked closer, but stopped at a safe distance. He remembered Lyra's warning. I will not take you, he said softly. I only need proof I was here. He pulled out a small scanner from his pack and recorded the crystal's energy pattern. Then, gently, he placed one of his own small metal tools near the crystal. The crystal's light touched it, leaving a faint mark like a star. Aaron picked it up, smiling. This will be my proof. As he turned to leave, the voice returned. You showed respect, human. You may leave in peace. The glowing stone in his hand brightened, lighting the way back. Aaron walked quickly, feeling a weight lift from his shoulders at the cavern's entrance. Lyra was waiting. When she saw him, her eyes widened. "You return," she said, almost in surprise. "I told you I would," Aaron said, smiling. He held out the small tool with the star-shaped mark. "This is the proof." Lyra looked at it and then at him. A slow smile spread across her face. "Then my father will have no choice but to see your courage." Aaron and Lyra stood at the entrance of the cavern. The blue mist that came from within moved like a living thing, curling around their feet. The wind outside the mountains was quiet, as if the whole world was watching to see what would happen. Next, Lyra's green eyes were fixed on Aaron. "You have returned with proof," she said, holding the small tool marked by the crystal's light. "But I can see in your eyes that the cavern showed you more than shadows." Aaron looked down at the glowing tool in his hand. "It tried to test me," he said softly. "I saw things I feared, my ship burning, my friends lost, but I knew they were illusions. The cavern wanted to see if I would give in to fear. I didn't." Lyra smiled slightly. "The cavern tests everyone. It does not care if you are Celeran or human. It looks into the heart. You passed, Aaron. That is no small thing." Aaron nodded, but felt there was something deeper about the cavern. He didn't fully understand Lyra. He asked, "Why does the heart crystal stay there, alone? Why do your people not use its power?" Lyra paused and looked toward the mountains. "The heart crystal is the source of life for Solara," she explained. "It is like the heartbeat of the planet itself. Long ago, my people learned that to take its power for ourselves would bring ruin. So, we build our city far from it and left it untouched. Only those who are truly worthy are allowed to see it as a sign of respect." Aaron thought about her words. "Then I am honored to have seen it," he said. Lyra's smile grew a little warmer. "My father will see this proof and know that you speak with honesty. Let us return to the palace. The king will decide what happens next." The walk back to the city was quiet. The sun began to sink behind the mountains, painting the desert sky with deep gold and violet colors. The glowing blue plants lit their way, while soft winds carried the scent of flowers. Aaron could not help but glance at Lyra from time to time. There was something about her presence, calm yet strong, that made him feel as if the world around her was alive with meaning. "You said earlier," Aaron began, "that you would come with me if I convinced your father. Do you truly wish to leave Solara?" Lyra was silent for a moment. "Yes," she said at last, her voice soft. "I have seen the same stars every night since I was born. I have walked the same gardens, listened to the same songs. Solara is beautiful. But my heart longs to see other worlds, to see what lies beyond the horizon." Aaron nodded slowly. "I understand. I travel because I want to know what is out there too. But leaving your home, it is not easy." Lyra looked at him, her green eyes shining in the fading light. "If my father agrees, I will leave. Not because I wish to escape, but because I wish to grow." Aaron admired her courage. "Then I hope your father will see that this journey is not just mine, but yours too." When they reached the city, the towers of Solara glowed under the night sky. The floating gardens shimmered with silver light, and music from crystal wind chimes filled the air. As Aaron walked beside Lyra through the gates, the Celeran people watched him with quiet curiosity. They had heard of the human who went into the forbidden cavern and returned alive. Lyra led Aaron straight to the palace. The guards at the entrance stepped aside, their eyes showing a hint of respect now. Aaron noticed it but said nothing. Inside the throne hall, the king sat waiting. His bright eyes fell on Aaron, and for a moment the hall was silent. "You have returned," the king said in his deep, calm voice. "Did you see the heart crystal?" "Yes, your majesty," Aaron said, stepping forward. He held out the small tool marked by the crystal's light. "I did not take it. I only brought this mark as a sign that I was there and that I respected its power." The king took the tool and studied it. The faint star-shaped mark glowed softly under his touch. "The heart crystal has accepted you," the king said. "This is rare for one who is not of Solara." Aaron felt a wave of relief wash over him. The king looked at him with a steady gaze. "You have shown courage, Aaron of the stars, But courage alone does not build trust. Tell me, why should I help you? Why should I allow my daughter to leave with you, as she wishes? Aaron took a deep breath. He knew this was the true test, because I will treat your trust as a gift, not a prize. He said firmly, I will carry your daughter's safety, as if it were my own life. I will not harm her world or yours. I only seek to explore, to learn, and to share kindness wherever I go. If Lyra comes with me, she will see the stars, but she will also have the freedom to return whenever she wishes. The king's eyes narrowed slightly as if searching Aaron's heart. Do you promise this? I promise, Aaron said without hesitation. For a long moment, there was silence. Then the king slowly nodded. You speak with the weight of truth. Few humans have done so. Lyra stepped forward, her voice soft but firm. Father, I believe Aaron is different. I wish to see the stars. Let me go with him, and I will return with stories that will honor Solara. The king looked at his daughter. His gaze softened, though his face remained serious. Lyra, he said, you are the light of this kingdom. If you leave, it will be emptier without you. But I will not keep you from your path if you believe this is your destiny. Lyra's eyes widened slightly. You mean? The king rose from his throne. Yes, if Aaron repairs his ship, and if he keeps his promise, you may go with him. But know this, human, if you fail to protect her, you will answer to me, even across the stars. Aaron bowed his head. I understand, your majesty, and I will not fail. That night, Aaron stayed in the palace as a guest. He sat on a balcony overlooking the glowing city, thinking of the strange journey that had brought him here. Lyra joined him, her robe catching the moonlight. You spoke well before my father, she said softly. Aaron smiled. I just spoke what was true. Lyra looked at the stars above. Soon, I will see those stars up close. I wonder what they will look like beyond Solara's sky. Aaron glanced at her and said quietly, we'll find out together. The next morning, the first light of Solara's twin suns filled the sky, and the city glowed as if it had been touched by fire and gold. Aaron woke early. Standing on the balcony of the palace, he could see the shining towers, the floating gardens, and the crystal streams below. But his mind was not on the view. It was on his broken ship. I need to repair my ship soon, Aaron whispered to himself. If I wait too long, the desert storms might bury it. Lyra walked onto the balcony. She wore a simple silver robe, and her hair glimmered like threads of light. You are worried, she said softly. Aaron smiled a little. Yes, I cannot travel the stars without my ship. It is more than a machine to me, it is my home. Lyra tilted her head curiously. Humans build machines and give them so much meaning. Why is that? Because they carry our dreams. Aaron replied, when we build something, we see more than metal and wires. We see hope. My ship has carried me across countless stars. I cannot give up on it now. Lyra's eyes softened. Then let us see what we can do. I will take you to our makers. They understand the energy of Solara better than anyone. Maybe together we can fix it. Later that day, Aaron and Lyra walked through the city's bright streets. Sailor and children ran through floating gardens, their laughter like soft bells. Traders sold glowing fruits and fine cloth that changed color with the touch of a hand. Aaron's heart felt lighter as he saw how alive the city was. Soon, they arrived at a large dome made of silver glass. Inside, the air hummed with energy. Strange machines floated in the air, held up by invisible force. Sailor and engineers worked quietly, shaping crystals with their hands as if they were soft clay. This is where our people create, Lyra explained. They do not use fire or metal as humans do. They use energy from the world itself. Aaron looked around in awe. It's beautiful. Your technology feels alive, not cold. One of the engineers approached them. His skin glowed faintly, and his calm smile revealed his wisdom. Princess Lyra, he said with a bow. What brings you here? This human ship is broken, Lyra said. Can you help him repair it? The engineer studied Aaron with kind eyes. A human ship is different from ours, he said. But perhaps if we combine your tools with our energy, we can find a way. Aaron led them to the desert plains where his ship lay. The silver hull was scratched and covered with sand. Smoke marks ran along the sides from where the engine had failed. Aaron ran his hand across the metal, feeling a strange warmth of memory. "This ship has saved my life more than once," he said quietly. "I can't leave it here." The Celeran engineers touched the ship's surface. Thin lines of light appeared. Where their hands moved, as if they were mapping the damage, "The main engine is burned." One engineer said, "It needs a new energy core." Aaron frowned. "I don't have one. It will take weeks to build another with my tools." Lyra stepped forward. "What if we used a small crystal core from our city? Not the heart crystal, but a shard from the energy wells? Would that work?" The engineer nodded slowly. "If the human agrees, it can work. But his ship will carry a piece of Solara with it." Aaron smiled. "Then let's do it. I'll take care of it as if it were your own star." The next few days were filled with hard work. Aaron repaired the outer hull while the Celeran engineers worked on the energy systems. Lyra stayed close, watching and learning. "You humans fix things by taking them apart first," Lyra observed one afternoon. Aaron laughed. "Yes, sometimes you have to break something to understand how to make it better. That's the human way. We learn by trying, failing, and trying again." Lyra tilted her head, thinking, "My people avoid failure. We build only when we are certain it will succeed. But maybe there's wisdom in trying, even if you do not know the outcome. That's the beauty of it." Aaron said, smiling, "Every mistake teaches us something new. My ship isn't perfect, but it's mine. Every scratch tells a story." On the fourth day, the ship's engine came alive with a low, steady hum. The Celeran crystal core glowed softly inside, mixing with the ship's human-made parts. Aaron's heart filled with relief as he heard the familiar sound of power. "It's working," he said. Almost in disbelief, Lyra smiled. "You and my people made it work together. A piece of Solara will travel with you now." Aaron placed his hand on the ship's side. "I'll carry this gift with honor." That evening, Aaron and Lyra stood on a dune overlooking the glowing city. The sky above was filled with stars, each one shining like a promise. "Your ship is ready," Lyra said softly. "Now the choice is with my father." Aaron looked at her. "And what about you? Are you ready to leave your world?" Lyra was silent for a long moment. The wind played with her silver hair, making it shine like moonlight. "Yes," she said finally. "I love my home, but I want to see the stars with my own eyes. I want to know what lies beyond Solara." Aaron nodded. "Then I'll make sure you see them safely." The next morning, they returned to the palace. The king was waiting in the throne hall, his calm gaze moving between Aaron and his daughter. "Your ship is ready?" the king asked. "Yes, your majesty." Aaron said, "Thanks to your people's help, it will fly again." The king's eyes settled on Lyra. "And you, my daughter, do you still wish to leave Solara and travel with this human?" Lyra stood tall. "Yes, father. I wish to see the stars and bring back the stories of other worlds." The king was silent for a long time, his gaze deep and thoughtful. Finally, he said, "Then you may go. But know this, Aaron, of the stars, if harm comes to her, I will find you, no matter how far you travel." Aaron bowed deeply. "I give you my word. I will protect her with my life." That night, the city of Solara prepared for the princess's farewell. The towers shone brighter than ever, and the people gathered to sing songs of blessing. Aaron stood by his ship, watching as Lyra said goodbye to her friends and family. When she walked toward him, carrying only a small crystal pendant, Aaron felt a strange mix of pride and responsibility. "Are you ready?" he asked. Lyra smiled softly. "Yes, my journey begins now." The night before their departure, Solara's city of light was alive with song. Crystal bells rang from the towers, and floating gardens shimmered with glowing flowers. It was the farewell celebration for Princess Lyra, and all of Solara had gathered to wish her safe travels. Aaron stood near his ship, watching the people dance and sing under the twin moons. He felt a strange warmth in his chest, a mix of pride, nervousness, and hope. Lyra stood beside him, dressed in a flowing robe of silver and blue. The robe glowed softly, like the light of a quiet star. Around her neck hung the small crystal pendant she had chosen to carry with her into the stars. You look like you belong to the stars already, Aaron said with a small smile. Lyra tilted her head slightly, her green eyes shining under the moonlight. I do not know what waits beyond this world, she said softly. But I'm ready to find out. Aaron glanced at the crowd. Your people love you. It must be hard to leave them. It is, Lyra admitted. But I believe my journey will bring something back to them, a new understanding, a story worth telling. As the celebration ended, the king of Solara approached. His tall figure moved gracefully, his robe glowing like morning light. The crowd grew silent as he stopped before Aaron and Lyra. Human, the king said, his voice calm yet firm, you have repaired your ship, and you have earned my trust through courage. But there's one last thing I must ask before I allow my daughter to leave. Aaron straightened. What is it, your majesty? The king looked at him with steady eyes. My daughter is the heart of Solara. If she travels with you, I need to know that you carry more than strength. I must see that your heart is true. Aaron frowned slightly, unsure what the king meant. How can I prove that? The king raised a hand, and a soft light spread across the palace grounds. Follow me. Aaron and Lyra followed the king through the glowing streets until they reached a quiet garden hidden behind the palace. It was unlike the floating gardens Aaron had seen before. This one was still, with a single large tree standing at its center. Its leaves glowed softly, and its trunk looked like polished crystal. The garden was surrounded by a low pool of water that reflected the stars above. This is the memory tree, the king said. It can see into the heart of anyone who touches it. Place your hand on its trunk, human, and it will show us who you truly are. Aaron hesitated. He had faced dark caverns and illusions, but this felt different. What will it show? He asked. Only the truth, the king replied. Your truth. Lyra looked at him, her expression calm but curious. Do not be afraid, Aaron. If your heart is true, the tree will see it. Taking a deep breath, Aaron stepped forward. He placed his hand on the cool surface of the crystal trunk. At once, the tree's glow brightened, and the world around him seemed to fade. He found himself standing in darkness, but it was not empty. Shapes began to appear, memories from his life. He saw his home planet, a small world far from Solara, with green fields and blue oceans. He saw his family waving as he left for his first journey. He saw himself fixing his ship under the stars, dreaming of new worlds. Then, he saw the moments of fear, the storms in space, the times when his ship nearly failed, in the loneliness of long travel. A voice filled the darkness, soft and calm. What do you seek, traveler? I seek understanding, Aaron said. I want to see worlds beyond my own, to learn from them, not to harm them. The voice grew stronger. Would you give up your life for the one who trusts you? Aaron did not hesitate. Yes, if Lyra is in danger, I would protect her with everything I have. The darkness faded, and the garden returned. The tree glowed brighter than before, its light warm and golden. The king watched with quiet eyes. You spoke the truth, the king said. The tree does not shine for lies. You have proven that. Your heart is not filled with greed or false promises. Aaron stepped back, feeling a strange calm. Thank you, your majesty. Lyra smiled, her eyes bright. I knew you were honest. But now my father knows as well. The king turned to Lyra. Daughter, the time has come. If you truly wish to leave, you have my blessing. Lyra's face lit up, but her voice was soft when she said, Thank you, father. I will carry the spirit of Solara with me. The next morning, the skies were clear, and the desert winds were still. Orange ship stood ready, its silver hull shining with the new crystal energy core inside. A small crowd gathered near the palace gates to see the princess off. Aaron walked around the ship one last time, checking every part. He felt nervous. This journey was no longer just about him. Lyra's safety was now in his hands. Are you ready? Lyra asked, standing beside him. Yes, Aaron said with a firm nod. But this time, I'm not just flying for myself. I'll make sure we both reach the stars safely. The king approached one last time. He placed his hand on Lyra's shoulder. Remember, my daughter, the stars are beautiful but full of shadows as well. Trust your heart and trust this human who stands beside you. Lyra nodded. I will, Father. The king looked at Aaron. And you carry my daughter's trust as if it were your own life. I promise, Aaron said. The king handed Aaron a small crystal shaped like a tear. This is the light stone of Solara. If you are ever in great danger, break it. It will send a signal to us, no matter how far you are. Aaron accepted it with gratitude. Thank you. I will keep it safe. As the ship's engines began to hum, Lyra turned to her people. They sang a farewell song, their voices like wind and water. Aaron had never heard anything so beautiful. When the ship's door closed, Aaron looked at Lyra. She touched the crystal pendant round her neck and whispered, "Goodbye, Solara." The ship lifted into the sky, the glowing city shrinking below. Aaron set the controls, guiding them past the desert plains and into the dark sea of stars. Lyra watched through the window, her eyes wide with wonder. "It's beautiful," she said softly. Aaron smiled. "This is only the beginning. The stars are waiting for us." The ship soared into the endless night, leaving the glowing world of Solara behind. From the window, the twin suns looked like tiny golden lights, fading slowly as the ship climbed higher and higher into the black sea of stars. Lyra stood near the window, her silver hair glowing in the faint cabin light. Her eyes were wide with wonder. "I have seen the stars all my life," she whispered, "but now they are no longer far. They are all around us. It feels like stepping into a dream." Aaron smiled as he checked the ship's controls. "The first time I saw space like this, I felt the same. It's quiet, but it's alive. Every star out there is a story waiting to be discovered." Lyra turned to him, curiosity shining in her eyes. "How many worlds have you seen?" "More than I can count," Aaron said with a soft laugh. "Some are wild and dangerous, filled with storms. Some are silent, like they are waiting for someone to visit. But none have felt like Solara. Your world is different. It's alive, in a way I can't explain." Lyra smiled. "Solara listens to those who respect it. Maybe that is why it let you see the heart crystal." Aaron nodded. "Maybe, or maybe I was just lucky." The ship sailed on, guided by the stars. Hours passed, and the glowing trails of distant galaxies filled the windows. Aaron showed Lyra the navigation map, where countless dots of light marked other worlds. "These are all planets?" Lyra asked, amazed. "Yes," Aaron said. "Each one is unique. Some have oceans so big you can't see land. Others are made of ice or fire. We'll see some of them, if you want." Lyra's face brightened. "I want to see everything. I want to hear the songs of other skies." Aaron looked at her and smiled. "Then we'll go as far as the stars will take us." Suddenly, the ship's screen flashed red. A warning signal beeped sharply. Aaron's eyes narrowed. "That's not good," he said quickly. Lyra stepped closer. "What is it?" "A storm," Aaron replied. "A cosmic storm. It's like lightning in space, fast, powerful, and dangerous. If we don't steer clear of it, the ship's systems could fail." The warning lights grew brighter as a dark cloud of energy appeared ahead, glowing with flashes of blue and purple light. The storm spun like a giant whirlpool of fire and wind. "Hold on," Aaron said, gripping the controls. "We have to get through this carefully." The ship shook as it entered the edge of the storm. Sparks of energy flashed across the windows, and the engines hummed with strain. Lyra grabbed the back of Aaron's chair to keep her balance. "Is this normal?" she asked, trying to stay calm. Aaron smiled tightly. "Not exactly. But don't worry, I've flown through worse. Just trust me." The storm roared around them like a living creature. Bolts of blue light struck near the ship, and the controls flickered. Aaron adjusted the power, using both hands to guide the ship through the twisting waves of energy. "Come on," he muttered. "Hold together." Lyra looked at him, her heart racing. "What can I do to help?" Aaron pointed to the screen showing the engine power. "Watch the energy levels. If they drop below 20, tell me. We'll have to switch to the backup system." She nodded, focusing on the numbers as the ship rocked. "It's holding at 30, she said. The storm grew stronger, but Aaron's calm voice steadied her. "This is what I meant before. Space is full of challenges. But every challenge teaches you something new. We just have to keep moving forward." Lyra felt a strange warmth hearing his words. She realized that fear was not as strong when Aaron was near. He faced danger with quiet strength, and that gave her courage too. The ship jolted as a bright bolt of energy struck the hull. The lights flickered, and the power dropped to 25. Aaron. Lyra shouted. I see it, Aaron said, his eyes sharp, switching systems now. He pressed a series of buttons, and the hum of the engine steadied. Hold on, just a little more. Minutes felt like hours, but at last the storm began to fade. The black sky returned, and the stars shone again, calm and silent. Lyra let out a long breath she didn't realize she had been holding. We made it, Aaron smiled and leaned back in his chair. We made it, Lyra laughed softly. The sound like a song. I think I'm starting to understand why you travel. Every danger makes the stars feel more alive. Aaron glanced at her. Exactly. It's not just about the places we see, it's about the moments like this, when we survive and keep going. Hours later, they reached a quiet part of space where a small planet floated. Surrounded by glowing rings, Aaron slowed the ship and pointed. We can stop here for a while. It's a safe place to rest. Lyra's eyes sparkled as she looked at the planet. It looks like a jewel. They landed on the planet's surface, which was covered with soft, silver grass. The sky was filled with 3 moons that glowed like lanterns. Lyra stepped out of the ship and felt the cool wind on her face. This place is magical, she whispered. Aaron walked beside her. Every world has something special. Sometimes you just have to look closely. As they sat under the 3 moons, Lyra turned to Aaron. Thank you, she said softly. For what? Aaron asked. For keeping your promise. You faced the storm, and you didn't give up. My father was right to carry strength not just in your hands, but in your heart. Aaron smiled. I promised your father I'd protect you, but I think you're stronger than you realize. Lyra looked at the stars. Maybe, but I think I'll find my true strength out here, among the stars, with you. That night, as the ship rested under the glowing sky, Aaron and Lyra planned their next journey. There's a cluster of new worlds not far from here, Aaron said, showing her the map. We can start there. Maybe one of them will have songs and stories that remind you of Solara. Lyra smiled. I would like that, and maybe one day we will return to Solara with stories of our own. Aaron nodded. We will. I promise. The stars above seemed to shine brighter, as if listening. The journey of a human and a Celaran princess had just begun, and the universe stretched before them like a book with endless pages waiting to be written.